Hey guys, welcome back to Such Plants. My name is Ron, and today, or tonight, we are going to be potting up my baby Monstera Deliciosa. So this is actually from a propagation video that I made, and I put the link right up here. It was about 2 months ago, and in that video I explained why I decided to propagate her. The stems were kind of looking wonky. This plant was never really in the best lighting conditions, so it grew very thin, flimsy looking stems. And then once I put it in a bright location, the stems started to fill out and grow thicker and push out bigger and bigger leaves. There is so much new growth, guys. I'll put it out of the glass so you can have a closer look, but I really need to pot it up because it's getting really crowded in here. But yeah, I'm excited because we're really healthy and that dog is very loud. Again, okay, let's pull her out of this jar for the grand reveal. Wow. So this is kind of long overdue. She seems pretty happy in the water, but check that out. Very nice and white roots. One of the cuttings in here actually pushed out a new growth too, right here. You can see that. The roots are kind of stuck together, and I'm gonna let it be because it is pushing out a lot of secondary roots, so it's gonna have no problem absorbing nutrients. And let me show you the pot I'm gonna pot it up into. Isn't this like a really cool color? I've actually had a Monstera Deliciosa in this pot a long time ago. It was actually one of my first plants, and I'll show you a picture of what that looks like. It's been living in that pot, and I don't remember the reason why I removed it. Probably to repot it, but we're gonna put it back in this pot, and I'm gonna take it back with me to work because she was quite happy. So let's put her back in this pot. Now let me grab some soil. All right, so here I have my usual chunky mix. I have some potting soil. In my previous video, I mentioned I'm gonna start using the Dr. Q's Filthy Rich Gold potting soil. So that's that, that's what it looks like. It has some perlite in there, some cocoa coir, some other things, but I'm adding some extra cocoa coir, some charcoal, some orchid bark, a little bit of more perlite, and then some worm castings. But the question is, did I make enough? All right, and then we can test the chunky factor. Breaks apart. Looks good. Here is the pot. It's terracotta. It is glazed on the outside, but the inside, it's bare. The bottom here is bare, and so is the very bottom here. So it will definitely wick away moisture through the bottom mostly. Let's put a layer of soil. Wait. I'm gonna put a piece of orchid bark right there. The drainage hole is on the side, so it shouldn't leak out that much. Let me just put a layer of soil and put her in there. There's this root like sticking upwards. Let's see if I can tuck it down without breaking it. Actually, this might do. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. And then let's backfill. I think I made enough soil, guys. All right, and then we do our signature tap. Did that do anything? Okay, before I say it's done, we're gonna add some of Bonite systemic granules, which I talked about in my last video about how to deal with fungus gnats and my experience. So I'm gonna make sure I put a layer of this on top. It says for a 6-inch pot, you should be using 2.5 tablespoons of this systemic granules. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. So I think the basic idea is that you want to have good coverage just like this before you mix it in. So, but I'm gonna add a little bit more soil on top and then mix it in. Whoops. Okay, wow, I made enough soil this time. And then I'm just gonna use my fingers to gently mix it in. All right, now I'm going to give her a good drink. So in this watering can, I just so happen to have distilled water, but I did add a few drops of Dr. Q's plant tonic. So I'm hoping that will reduce transplant shock, which it says here on the bottle, prevents transplant shock. And this is similar to superthrive. So if you don't have this available in your area, you can definitely use superthrive. And I use this in every repotting that I do, just for that extra level of insurance. And it seems to help. So this is also how you can tell if your soil has good drainage, is when you're watering it, the water just doesn't sit on the top. In this case, it's probably seeping right through because it is fresh soil. But over time, depending on how hard your water is, it might leave some kind of mineral deposit on the top layer, which will kind of inhibit water from seeping through. If that's the case, then I would just grab a chopstick and then just poke holes on the top just to kind of loosen that up and then water. I'm just gonna water this until I see the tiniest bit of water coming out of the drainage hole, because this is a water propagation transplant, so the roots are still kind of used to being in water. So at this point, they prefer to be more on the wet side. Perfect. And we can see water coming out right there. Cool. All right, that was pretty quick. This is kind of giving me some nostalgic vibes because I did have this pot with me at work at one point, and that was quite a while ago when I was first starting to collect plants. And just to think about how I went from just this plant to all of this, it's crazy. I'm not stopping there. I'm gonna buy more plants. So that's pretty much it for this repotting video. Is it technically a repotting video or just a potting video? Transplant video or whatever. So yeah, pretty quick. I know my last video was super long, so I don't know if you guys prefer to be shorter. Let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet already, plant subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.